which shape has two sets of congruent angles and adjacent sides that are congruent. So first of all, let me discuss the idea of two sets. We're looking for two unique angles that are congruent to each other. So there's one set of numbers that are congruent and another set of measurements that are also congruent. For this problem, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put pictures next to each one, discuss each picture, and then eliminate the choices until we narrow it down to one correct choice. So first of all, let's discuss the square. Now, it is true that the square does have adjacent sides that are congruent. And just recall that the word adjacent means next to or share the same vertex. So here we have a square, okay, and here is one side and another side that's adjacent to it. And it is true that those two sides are congruent. However, with a square, there's only one measurement for the sides. All the sides are 90 degrees. So there's only one set of congruent angles. They're all 90. So any two pair that I pick, and we're not talking about set being a pair, we're talking about a set. So there's only one number, 90 degrees, for this one, this one, this one, and this one. So there's not two unique sets. We can eliminate square as a possibility. And now let's talk about the rectangle. And for much the same reason, the rectangle is not meeting the requirements because there's not two sets of congruent angles. Also with a rectangle, if I look at the sides, here is one side adjacent to the other side. And these two sides are not congruent. This is short and that's long. So the rectangle is not a possibility. I'm going to eliminate that. Which takes me to the rhombus. Now, a rhombus does have adjacent sides that are congruent. As a matter of fact, in a rhombus, all four sides are congruent. So any two sides that are adjacent are congruent. As far as the angles go, here are two acute angles, and those sides are congruent. If I look at the top and the bottom, here are two obtuse angles. They have a different measurement, but they are congruent to each other. So the rhombus does have two sets of congruent angles, as well as having adjacent sides that are congruent. So the rhombus is the correct answer choice. We can see the correct answer is C. But let's talk a little bit about the kite. Okay, why isn't the kite a correct answer? And the reason why the kite is not the correct answer is because there are adjacent sides that are not congruent. If I look at this side here and compare it to this side here, they are adjacent sides, but they're not congruent. This one is shorter than this one. So a kite is eliminated because adjacent sides are not congruent. And we're still left with the correct answer choice of being C.